So I've just finished recording an AC/DC DVD that features some of the highlights from 7 AC/DC tracks, and this is part of the Jam With series. The Jam With series includes the backing tracks as part of the package, so you can try playing along with these songs in real time with the band. Great high quality backing tracks, so it's a great thing, the Jam With series. The stuff that I found the most challenging to play and also to teach was some of the earlier stuff. You could tell AC/DC spent a little bit less time in the studio, less production, but sometimes that's the most fun stuff. But some of the soloing, for example, is a little more random. You can almost hear Angus crawling around on the floor while he's playing the guitars. He goes for a lot of attitude in his playing. Some of the later stuff from Back in Black, you can tell is a little more produced, a little more structured. That stuff is a little easier to get a grip of, but there's some really great gems during the earlier stuff because Angus was really on fire back in the old days. You can really feel the attitude and the vibe in those earlier tracks. It's hard to say what my favorite track would be. Each track, I think, really has something unique to offer. Thunderstruck, for example, has this open string alternate picking intro that is really hard to keep up with the tempo. It's not so hard to play it slowly, but when you really try and play along with the record, it's really challenging. That one's very deceptively challenging, I think. You see him on the MTV video and he's just holding up his hand in the air and it looks like he's doing hammer-ons and pull-offs, but in fact he's picking every note. That one's really tough. Some of the other songs, for example, You Shook Me All Night Long, great example of how to combine major pentatonic and minor pentatonic within the framework of a rock solo, but coming from a blues perspective, it's a great lesson in how to combine both major sounds and minor sounds. There's a lot of stuff. I like all of these songs. Highway to Hell, for example, is a great basic track. I think that would be one of the easier ones to learn if you're at a beginner or intermediate level. Highway to Hell is a great track. For those about to rock, I think that intro is very tricky. Trying to keep up with that, you got to use fingers rather than the pick during the intro. There's a lot of stuff going on. Quite a bit more advanced, I would think, than Highway to Hell. So there's a little bit for everybody on this DVD. Well, what I think people can take away from this DVD is, of course, they're going to learn the classic AC/DC songs. There's also a lot of great soloing ideas to be found within these tracks, so you can take some of these ideas and steal them and make them your own. And I really recommend learning things in small pieces so that you can put that into your playing immediately, so you don't feel overwhelmed. Sometimes it can be tough to learn everything from 7 songs. That can take a long time, but if you just learn a 4-bar phrase, you can apply that right away. So I always recommend taking something that you really like, sink your teeth into it, and get it under your fingers as soon as possible.